As betrayed individuals, we sometimes wonder, can I heal from this if I've had multiple D-days? If I have experienced multiple betrayals, is this even recoverable? And I understand that. It's a good question, actually. It's good that you're exploring that. And if that's where you are right now, I have some suggestions that may be helpful for you. So stay tuned. Multiple betrayals are really hard. If you can imagine, well, you can't imagine. The first time you found out about infidelity with your significant other, that was completely devastating, wasn't it? It was hard to even imagine getting past something like that. How do I recover from it? The emotional trauma you're experiencing, the physical side effects of that trauma, the grief you're carrying, it's tremendous, right? If it happens again, you can only imagine how hard that is, right? It's only fair we ask the question, well, if I have this happen to me multiple times, what does that mean? Does that mean that I should be done? How should I manage this? Can I really recover if there have been multiple instances of infidelity? The short answer to that is you can. It's not that, I don't know if this is a more about whether you can or cannot. I think it's more about whether you will or will not, or should not. And here's what I mean by that. If you have experienced multiple infidelities, this means that the first time it happened, if you reconciled with your significant other, if you chose to stay in that relationship and heal, and the person seemed remorseful and yet did it again, I believe that a pause may need to be taken here. A pause to give you time to reflect, okay, if they chose to do this again, am I safe staying in this environment? Is this a relationship that I believe can transform and be different? Because they did do this again. They did choose to do this again. Even seeing the pain I went through the first time, doing it again is so much more devastating because now they know what they're doing. There's more of an intentionality behind it, it seems. So is this environment a safe place to be? I would encourage you to explore that. And yes, so having said that, yes, actually, relationships can heal. I had multiple D-days in my situation. I had to go through this very same exercise. There's a lot that happens in your own relationship. There are a lot of nuances in your relationship that could be very different than my relationship. It's important that you explore you. You explore your relationship. Ask yourself important questions such as, is this different? The second D-Day, if you will, is my partner acting differently, responding differently than the first time? Does it seem as though there's genuine potential for change this time as opposed to last time? What is different about this scenario? Or is it exactly the same? And if his or her behavior is exactly the same as it was the first time, the question then remains, how can I feel confident that true change will take place with them this time? How can I be confident that they will lean into this relationship? This is where we float in a world of the unknown, right? We don't know. You can't control another person, right? I can't control another person. We agree to reconcile relationships based on our belief that things could potentially be different this time. We hope for something to be different. We wish that things would be different. We have faith that things may be different, but we don't know. If it's happened multiple times, What we need to see is we need to see something different. I encourage you to ask yourself, should I stay if I have seen nothing different? Is this something that I should do for my own safety and benefit? If things do seem different, should I give this some time to perhaps do marriage counseling, to perhaps see if there is potential for my partner to demonstrate to me that they're legitimately working on healing the marriage? These are all questions only you can answer, quite frankly. I will encourage you, however, to take the time to explore it. Take the time to explore it. I am not a fan of knee-jerk reactions. I'm also not a fan of making big major life decisions like leaving your marriage, for instance, and heading toward divorce without taking the time to truly examine the healthiest next steps for you and your relationship. We don't want to live a life of regret. We don't want to live a life of, well, maybe I should have, would have, could have, whatever. We want to know that we took the appropriate time to do that. So take the time you need. Work with a counselor, work with a coach. If you're looking for a coach, I'd love to work with you on this. Many of my clients have experienced multiple D-days. I'm very versed in helping explore that. Reach out to me. Let's have that free consultation. Let's see if I can help you. But either way, do this exploration. Figure it out for yourself. But the short answer is yes, we are capable. We can move past things if we choose to do so. Should we? Is it safe to do that? Is it the appropriate thing to do in our given situation? And also, are we willing? Because moving past multiple D-days takes a lot of hard work. We have to be willing to put in that energy. And some of us will get to a place where we're like, I don't have that in me. I just don't have that in me. That's it. Or perhaps you've set that hard boundary already. If you do this again, our relationship is over. And you know very clear well that that's it. And you are ready to enforce that boundary. You need to do that. You need to do that. You need to enforce that boundary. So yes, you absolutely could survive and heal from another infidelity. Ask yourself important questions though. Should you? Is it safe to? Are there things different this time around that indicates that you really could and it could be a safe environment for you? Is that your hard boundary? Did you set a boundary against another infidelity? Do you need to examine that boundary and go ahead and enforce it? Do you feel safe enough with this person to even consider staying after another infidelity? Those are questions I think that is important for you to ask. Listen, I've said this before, affairs, infidelity, it's not a black and white issue. It's very gray and it's very relationship specific, okay? Not every relationship is the same. Your relationship is different than the relationship I have with my husband. It is apples and oranges. There could be common elements, absolutely, but it's different. I can't tell you as well as anybody else can tell you exactly what to do in your specific situation, but learning how to live in that gray area, again, not black and white, it's gray. Learning to live in that gray area means that you become very, very good at asking the important questions of yourself and of your relationship to come out to determine the best thing to do for you. If you need some help along that journey, reach out to me. Let's have that free consultation. That information is below. Grab that, as well as I've got free materials below that you may find helpful, as well as a link to my Facebook group. And all these women in my Facebook group, they know what you're going through. Join my Facebook group and let's see if we can help each other through this situation. Ask the important questions. Then you will have the clarity you need to know if you are willing to heal from yet another infidelity.